Hello everybody and welcome. I'm the Beta Plan and this is Europa Universalis 4 and the start of a brand new series. Now I'm certain by virtue of the title you know what we are going to do, or at least have a very good idea about what we're going to do, but still I want to start off as per usual with a little bit of exposition on how, what and why, and giving thanks to the watchers that actually voted on which nation we're going to play. Because normally on this channel we tend to play a lot of Crusader Kings 2, but Crusader Kings 2, well, it has this entire region to play in, and I wanted to play in a different region. So I said, why not go towards the east? But then again, Ming is very powerful, even if it has its problems. Korea is done by a lot of people. I know the Hordes have been played, Japan has been played. I wanted to go a little bit more down south. So, first of all, one of the suggestions was by FJ Gaming, and by the way, anyone that made a suggestion or anyone that voted, thank you so much for voting, thank you so much for suggesting things. FJ Gaming said, why don't you play as Brunei over here, as a Muslim nation, probably for Malaya, he didn't say that, but I assume that's what he is going for, and become here the powerhouse of the world. Unfortunately for FJ Gaming, but still want to say thank you, the suggestion only got 2 votes, and thereby being unfortunately the lowest, so we won't do that. But he wasn't far off in the sense that the next idea was doing the same thing, but then with a Hindu nation. Either Majapahit or Sunda, or I'm not sure if Majas can do it, but start with a Hindu nation, and this is not Hindu, sorry. I had to check for it, I always forget what Pagarayum plays as if you pronounce it that way. But yeah, playing as a Hindu nation and for Malaya. That was suggested by Rush for In, if I hadn't said that yet, and that got 4 votes. So together they had just amount of equal votes as the top suggestion. But seeing that is I can only play as one nation, we're going to do that. And that was suggested by, and I hope I pronounce your alias correctly, Andy Riju. And he said, why don't you play as Aboriginal Australia? Ho ho, yeah, you fun. There was nothing over here, because I had it so sneakily behind the play buttons in the beginning. But yeah, there it is. There is our Arustaralalaya. Why have I chosen this name, and why isn't the flag properly? Well, this is the closest thing I can get to the Aboriginal flag that is possible in EU4 when you make a custom nation. I can do the red on top and the black below, with the yellow sun being in the middle. Well, this is in the middle, but it's almost the entire shield. But this is the closest thing I can get for our shield to look like the Aboriginal flag. So that is why we've gone with this. Now, for the name, I will have to do some exposition. A person that is named Aboriginal is, well, Aboriginals is more or less, or is, I should say, a collective name for about 900 tribes, is stated in a book about the Aboriginals, that lived in Australia before we came along. So Aboriginal is a very collective name. Therefore, it is not really easy to come up with a name for Australia. First of all, they had different languages. Even if they were sometimes derivatives of one another, they had different languages. Secondly, as is common, when we were just trotting around in our own little thing, whether that will be the Netherlands, where I come from, or, I don't know, one of the Scottish Isles, back in this year, we might have known of Europe, but we didn't know, for instance, of America. So you didn't have a name for this entire region. Neither did the Aboriginals. So what I have gone and looked at is on a specific site. They say that in Australia, they believe that about 30 to 50,000 years back, the Aboriginals had a connection to what is called the Uru people. And in their type of languages, or in Sanskrit, because they link then the Aboriginals to the people from India, which is also why I have the Dharma. Thought it was even more appropriate to have the Dharma DLC. In Sanskrit, Aru means sun, and for this names like Arun means sun. And if you then put Aru's sun, Taro, water, and Alaya, which means home or retreat, you get something like Arustaralalaya, or the home of the sun-praying water-traveled people. Well, if we came indeed from there, we came from India, we came over here, and Australia itself being very sunny, water traveling, now all of a sudden we have a bit of a theme for our country. We travel from far away, colonizing here over here, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, before our nation truly became Arustaralalaya. But that is the theme we're going with, and that is why I've chosen this name. It sounds vaguely similar towards Australia, Arustaralalaya, has a little bit of a link to it, so to speak, and it is more closely related to an Aboriginal language than Australia is. Still not the right thing, and I don't know any Aboriginal languages, but that is why I've chosen for this. And I have tried to make our ideas fit that theme. So let's dive on in and play as Arustaralalaya. Now, of course, we can't do any Iron Man mode or anything because we are playing a custom nation. So let's dive in as we're initializing the game, and I will show you what ideas we have as our nation. Ooh. Oh dear. No, there it is. There it is. So, the first, the Aboris of Arustaralalaya. This is how I'm parsing it, and I might even parse it wrong, but yeah. The interesting thing is, well, there's a lot of things happening in 1444, but in Oceania, however, we know very little about what is going on. It will be up to you to make the region relevant to the rest of the world. Most likely, you have to do so with sword in hand. I don't think so, but we'll get to that. So, as a religion, we are animist, which means national unrest -1 and tolerance of the true faith +1. Unfortunately, no additional mechanics in it. In that sense, it's a bit of a shame that we're not Confucianism and then we will harmonize with animist, but unfortunately not a possibility. As a government, we are currently a duchy, which is very, very low. And of the environment, well, there are no region-wide mechanics in the region because nobody normally plays in this region. But, of course, first and foremost is important, what are our ideas? Now, and as you already saw from the beginning tab, I don't know why it showed when we started playing, but we have no heir. So we hope to get an heir. We have a consort that is fertile, that's very nice actually. I think this was on... No, this was not on random. An original input of this game, I had some things on random, but I had to change a few points around in order to make the country beneath 200 points. But we have a Duchess, very focused on admin, and I'll tell you why in a moment. A little bit of Diplo and Free Thinker, idea cost lowered. She's pretty young, so hopefully she will stay in power for quite some time. Our ideas. We have one colonist, because, and yes, I've named as, because I couldn't always say Arustaralalaya, I have named our adjective the Arustarian traditions. I hope you will forgive me for that one. But we have +1 colonist because we are traveling people, and idea cost is -5%. I have to admit that is a bit far-fetched, but that is because the people, the Aboriginals, in a general form, have as a religious common ground the dreaming, along with the world serpent. And I believe that with dreams you can have very original ideas. So that's why I've given this idea cost. I also have to admit I gave it because it's powerful. But the colonist, also by the way being very expensive to get that, is with the theme that we are going, because we are going to try and colonize all of Australia, and I kind of want to go back. I don't want to go up here towards California, but hey, tell me in the comments what I need to do, because I am not as good in EU4 as I am in CK2, so I definitely will be needing some of your aid. But we have +1 colonist and -5% to our idea cost. And then you think, oh, then you have chosen a few things. Oh, boring. No. I made it a little bit more spicy for you. The people of the desert. As the story of our nation grows, our kin of the desert migrates to our borders and to the new settlements we build on new coasts. In the past we roamed together, and now we will grow together. Global settler increase +10. Yes, I've given a freaking unique description for everything to fit our nation, Arustaralalaya. What? You think I'm just gonna pop in and go with the most powerful things? No, of course not. We're gonna make a story of this. Gosh darn it. We dream the same. All is sacred. This is the lesson of the dreaming. Why then would we oust those who know the lands we go to? They have the wisdom of the land and dream like us. We should embrace the people of the lands we visit and grow together as one. Native assimilation plus 30%. Living of the land. To us a soldier is equal to a hunter. They will know how to feed off the land and thus our troops have less needs. They will request less, knowing that war itself is already a taxing toll we must pay for our wanderlust. Land maintenance modifier minus 10%. Hardy through hardship. Our home is not a forgiving land. Poisonous creatures and harsh temperatures are but a few of the troubles we faced before we learned how to work with the land. Oh, I should have made that work the land. I apologize. However, we will not forget this time, as such our people can bear hardships better. National unrest minus 1. Lessons of old. Before we learned to cultivate the land, our people walked on the soil for many countless times and generations. No matter where our dreams led us, we walked to it. We remember this to this day, and we learn from it still. Colonial range plus 20%. Respecting other dreams. We all dream, but not everyone dreams the same. This has been the truth since we started on our home soil, and this is me referring to the fact that although all the original people of Australia are called Aboriginal, they actually have 900 tribes, or around that number, with common themes as the dreaming and the world serpent, but that is not to say that they didn't have their own differences in religious beliefs and certainly in language. So, this has been the truth since we started on our home soil. We know this will be so as we grow, and we will respect these other dreams like we always have. Religious unity plus 10%. And then we know distances. Our people roam on continent and we are connected. No matter how far we go, we are welcoming to those that dream with us. This acceptance of distance will help us govern as our nation grows and our borders touch all the islands of the world sea. I see I have a spelling error there as well, as our nations grow, but that's... oh well. And if we finish everything, it's a land maintenance land force limit modifier plus 50%, and I do that because, well, Australia in EU4 has a lot of uninhabitable terrain, but there are Aboriginals living all over here, so some of these ideas are focused on that we have an inland from which people also come to us. So this is more or less telling them, hey, there is more land than EU4 gives us, and we are a nation very focused on colonization. However, because we live over here in this corner, we are very far apart from the rest of the world. In fact, we don't even know what's going on in the Moluccas. In the Spice Islands, if you will. So, our diplomats right now, we can't fabricate any claim, we can't do much with them. So right now I'm going to kind of automate them. It has pretty few points, sending them to neighboring countries and threatening countries. As for the rest of it, right now we are in the trade node of Australia. We will collect here. This is the only thing we can do, because unfortunately Australia is a beginning trade node. Because it's a beginning trade node, there is no trade coming in. There's no way we can steer anything. It's not possible. We can only steer trade away from the Moluccas. So in general, we really want to push our trade capital towards Malacca. First Moluccas perhaps, and then into Malacca. And then we finally will have our true trade, and then we'll have use to steer the trade up Australia. But right now, no use. Besides, I can't even reach there. I don't have the trade range to do anything in Malacca. So we have a merchant that is completely useless. Oh wow. All our fleets, therefore, it really doesn't matter. We already have 100% trade power in Australia, so all of our light ships mothball them. The cogs we will later need in order to colonize, and I'm not going to pay to rebuild them, so we're also going to mothball them. And then our military, well, we are Arustaralalaya. Our economic base is very small. And we want to expand, and for that we do want to have native trading policy. We want to have assimilation chance high to gain new people. And we are going to send towards Bunjalung, if I pronounce it correctly. Because here the aggressiveness of the natives is very low. Now, all of our own territory, Southern Australia, we actually would need Paradare here, if I pronounce it correctly. I know this as a Tasman, because Abel Tasman, a Dutch captain, found this island. I know that almost everything else has been granted to Cook, Captain Cook, who discovered a lot in Australia, but it was Abel Tasman that found Tasmania. I believe he found, I don't know if he found New Zealand or some islands in between, and maybe Arnhem Land or something, but that might also be even Captain Cook Arnhem Land. I'm not certain on those details, and I apologize that I've not looked that up. I really tried to look a little bit into Aboriginals themselves. But yeah, we have some different terrains that are part of our original state, but these people are very, very aggressive. So I would like to get into that later, when we have more of an economic base to support a larger army. Right now I want to get up the coast, and I also want to get up the coast because if we go up here, then finally we will be able to reach and probably discover Moluccas. Right now, of course, because we are colonizing and because of our poor economic base, we are losing money. So in the beginning, although I really want to get up to technology 7, administrative technology 7, that is the thing we really desperately want. Because that will give us the 2 idea groups that we like, so that we can get into expansion and exploration, because we want these 2 extra colonies. We want these additional global settlers. This is what we want. So those 2 ideas are paramount for our nation's increase. But right now what we also really need is for us to get more cash. So I'm gonna hit this button, 1, 2. We are now doing 0.66. Let's see what the next month will tick tells us then. Lose government reform progress. Not a problem, because we have 0 at the moment. And I will speak about that in a moment. Hold on. 1st of January. There it is. 0.49. It's not great, but we really need to bump the economical power of our nation. So we really need to get tax up. And I say that because, well, I have to say, Ayora is kind of okay. It has incense. But Yoon over here has livestock. And that's never going to be a worthwhile province. The problem, however, is that these guys are both highlands. And thus, local development cost is increased. It is much better to, in that sense, develop Bundayung, because it's grasslands. But I don't know yet what, well, the trade is going to be. The trade, how is that called? I don't know. The trade item. I'm sorry, apologizing for that, but I don't know how to state it. But yeah, we would like to get more powerful in this sense. For the rest, we will try to grab the technologies as we go for the moment. We will need some points in order to upgrade the rest. What we also would like to get is to get a city above 30. Because if we get a city above 30, and I don't know why it says 12 over here, it also did that in my test game, it's 2 points higher than what our nation truly is. And we would like to have that so that we can be powerful enough to gain some bonuses, because we really want to get to high developed colonies. So we want to bump this up as crazy as much as can. So we're going to go use our military points to bump up Ayora, because it's our capital. And we will push out manpower here a lot along with the taxes. That's where first our points are going to go into. Then we're going to help natives lose size, spread of disease, lose 40 ducats. Are you kidding me? Well, we're going to have to do it. That's going to be a early loan this way. And what we also should definitely do is focus on admin. Because we want admin technology, that's one. And we want to bump our taxes. So we really need to focus on admin. Should have done that earlier. Boom. Gain 2 base tax in EUIV. Yeah, we'll come under control of the merchant guilds and we will remove that later. We will remove that from the merchant guilds, but 2 base tax in EUIV is too good of an opportunity to pass up. We cannot afford ourselves to not take that. I need to... by the way, I should have done that earlier. Totally forgot. The military budget should go down. These people are not as aggressive, and they are have not a high ferocity, so I think we can handle having a lower military budget. I totally forgot to do that. And of course, prestige-wise and idea-wise, we should take a few things as well. Ideas-wise, we will introduce a vision quest. Gain prestige and yearly stability costs go up. But we can later get some other bonuses. So we're going to go introduce... I want religious sacrifices, so we need stability. Didn't realize that one. So I shouldn't have clicked the other one, because now stability increase has gone up. That was dumb. Yep. I made a misplay. I made a misplay of 5 administrative points. So let's take the ideas. Religion sacrifices, additional prestige, and national unrest lowered. Now, the religious sacrifices compensates for the right of passage and divination. Whereas we have less unrest and we have more prestige build up. With that prestige build up, we can say, hey, why don't you... I will grant you monopolistic charters, and I will ask for 100 Diplo points. I will seek support and call it the end, and I can demand military power and administrative support, so that we can have some points to spend. And now I really should put them all in admin. And we should remove this from the guilds. Because we really don't need this. Yeah, local unrest increased, but we have so much... There are disloyal factions in our nation. Trade efficiency is lowered. Doesn't matter, we have... Development cost is annoying though, I have to admit. Didn't realize that development cost would go up. Well, then we will focus on getting technology first. Because we can't handle the additional cost of that. Chances of a new error. Plus 50%. That's nice, because we kind of need it. We have no errors. Please. We're still losing cash like crazy. I have to put the military budget even more down. Oh, this is root out corruption. Yeah, this is annoying. I misplayed a thing here. That is for certain. We're just gonna have to rely on this hopefully not going bad. But we really need our ideas to kick in. And in the meantime, we'll have to wait until this does not get disloyal. I don't know if disloyal is... No, it's not 30%, it's 40 probably. Well, this is going to be a bit of an issue. Oh, an error! But it has no name. Well, I'm going to give it a name. NDR Reju. I hope I do this correctly. I'll give it to you because you were the one suggesting this gameplay. Congratulations. Don't you worry, by the way, Rush4In and FJ Gaming. Of course, I'm going to give you a title somewhere as well. Because you made suggestions on what we should play. I'm sorry that it wasn't your idea in that sense, but hopefully I can alleviate the problem a little bit. Yeah, cash flow. This nation, she's not very good in cash flow. And is just not good at it. But we definitely also want to get technology. So it's not too bad that we can't develop right now. Though I really want to get those +1/+1. I want to bump Aora. Yeah, perhaps I should have done no to Ewan. Perhaps I misplayed this. Should have waited until Bunayung came along. Ah, fish. Yeah, so that's definitely going to be a tax province. Hey, we're making money all of a sudden. Don't know why. But I really don't want to pay the development cost because of the burgers. Perhaps I should have hit the button to get those points. Don't know. I always have some trouble with the estates and how to run things. In that regard. I mean, I know I wouldn't have gotten any manpower and neither would have gotten livestock. Perhaps I've done very dumb by taking that away from them. There's the Renaissance already. Because if you headed to the Merchant Guild... Local production efficiency... Local trade power is increased. Yeah, but trade efficiency is not what we need. So it was a good idea to remove it from them. But now, technology has already become more expensive. So we'll definitely need to take up the technology soon. We need to get those ideas. Hopefully our neighbors also will soon embrace one of them so that this will become a little bit less costly. And we really want to dump also some points into getting a city of 30 because if every colony gets a +1/+1, it's just so beneficial to us. Yeah, it's already 1%, but I'm waiting until perhaps my neighbors get a technology, because that's -5%. So I'm willing to wait 4 years until we get something like that. You're growing too slow for us to... Yeah, but with the burgers... We're just gonna sit on these points for some time. That is was something that in my test game did not happen, therefore we were earlier to develop. So actually this is a slower start than my test game. But unfortunate. And just like in my test game, I'm not getting any luck with additional settler pop-ups here. But in my test game, I was really late with getting a 30-size city. So that didn't help me get closer to new colonies. Which is something I may now want to invest a little more into than I did back then. Yeah, my neighbors have one, so let's take it. That is the cheapest it's going to be for us ever. And we'll take the marketplace then as soon as we can get to that as well. Because this now ahead of time, if we would take it now. Not that we could, but with the neighbors having it, that -5 bonus is helpful. And I don't know which are considered my neighbors. If these nations are considered my neighbors, or if these nations in the Spice Islands are considered my neighbors. I think we'll just purge them. We don't need manpower right now. Really, we don't. Yeah, I'm difficult because in my test game also this was an incense, and I believe incense gets more value later on. I think I will have to. I think I've misplayed it over here. I think we'll have to increase Bundalunga like crazy when it happens, because that's also grassland. But in my test game, I didn't get the luck that this got a random base increase in taxes, so... Yeah. Oh, our army's under attack. Oh no. We lost. We need to increase the pay of the soldiers. Like crazy. In order to strike back. They don't have a lot of people. So I assume we can handle this, but... This also didn't happen in my test game. There we go. Just the slightest of increase there. Because we really need great advisor has died. Really doesn't do anything for us. Yeah, our military tech is going to go really slow because we simply have very little monarch points coming into that. Oh! No, it's a comet! Yes, we will get an additional taxes, please. Whatever we do, it is always going to lower our stability. I'll boost that up. I always like to be at least +1 stability. Gosh darn. That is not good. Noble states gain influence, just... Ah! Trade efficient at 40%, so now we could develop again. So are we going to wait until you are finished to get a city of 30? I think so, because we just don't have the points that it matters if we do or don't do it in Ayora. I realized I didn't do that in my test game, but I think you are better to develop, and we can bank so many points that we can better bump up this city, even if we've already bumped up this a little bit. But it's 4 points. But oh my dear, again, no government reform progress. This, by the way, I do need some aid with you, from you people, because as said, I am not as good in EU4 as I am with Crusader Kings 2. What we have is, I know that I want to go to administrative clergies, and I want to go to parliamentarism, because I feel that it is more logical for the Aboriginals, and I know that with parliamentarism, you can get a parliament, and that you can get ideas to increase your settler count. So I really want to go down this route, and I think this is just crazy powerful. +1 free administrative policies. That's just amazing. Leader cost and advisor cost, I really don't care. I really like this one. As for, I also probably want to go via political absolutism, because absolutism is great. It gives the maximum up, and you gain it very quickly. I think that that's better, though. And because we're already going into administrative clergy, we already have an administrative policy freely available, so I don't really need legislative houses, in my opinion. This changes our thing to... Yeah, right now, this is no use for us to become a republic later on, and also not a theocratic government. I see no... Because, yeah, lose 6 government reforms as well. I don't see the benefit of that. So I want to go with this route, this route, this route. Here I'm not really sure, but I think I'm going to go for the number of states. Because that I think is better than minimal autonomy in territories -10%. It's kind of good though. I don't know. Both could be nice for us. But this is more states with autonomy going possibly to 0. This is if you're a super big nation. I think in overall a little better. But I don't know how big we can become. Because, yeah. I would assume that Japan at a certain point comes a knocking, for instance, also. And we just want to dominate Oceania. But for the earlier choices, I don't know what I want to do. I have no idea. Income from vassals, nice and all. But it's going to be some time. Unjustified demands, that could be nice. Also, I don't want to click this very soon because this is going to give us corruption. And we are going to have shit income for some time. Rooting out corruption is very expensive. And when you have corruption, there are chances that you get random events to get more corruption. And then, well, in the end, it could become very, very bad. As right now, plutocracy will not aid us. Because we have enough merchants as it is. And we're going to get merchants from the idea groups that we want to take. We're going to get a merchant over here. So I'm not certain I want to go down the plutocracy route. But... going down the plutocracy route, sorry, I should really just continue doing the timer. The advantage of it is that you can go into enforced trade privileges, and with trade range and trade efficiency. And in the end, we do want to gain a lot of power in the Malacca trade node and the Moluccas trade node. That is in the end something we really want. The other choice we can make is to go via the Mandala system. Vassal force limit from is 100%, number of states additional, and income from vassals. So our vassals become much better, and we will need to have some vassals at some point. And then go via strength from noble privileges to get 15% additional national manpower modifier. So that is another thing that really interests me. And then probably I want to go into centralized bureaucracy, multi-autonomy chains lowered, because maximum promoted cultures. Then again, unfortunately for us, our culture is the Aboriginal culture. And the Papuan and the ones here in the islands, those are accepted cultures. But the other culture group that is very much around us is this culture group, which all of the Peloponnesian cultures are in. And we will definitely want the Moluccas and these areas. So we also want some culture groups. In a sense, I would therefore also like humanist ideas, but should we take this? Neighbors don't have it. This is an interesting one. Are we already going to take national ideas? Because we can't get the national idea group available. And the sooner we can get that, the better. We can dump some what we really want a city of 30, so no, let's wait until perhaps one of our neighbors has it, so we have a -5 bonus. Will be better up to the point that if this becomes, well, 12% actually right now. So I think it's better to wait. Besides, we want a big city. We want a 30-size city because we want to get some points for the Age of Discovery, so we can get some stronger bonuses here. Come on, develop. Come on, you can do it. We're already 36 minutes in, but I did talk 10 minutes in the beginning of this video just about our nation. So I want to give you 30 minutes of gameplay. So this video is going to take 40 minutes. That is generally my rule of thumb that I apply. Accept the demand, we'll lose prestige. Because we gain positive prestige thanks to our rite of passage and religious sacrifices anyway. So prestige is not as important to us as it is perhaps from some other nations. Decisions to take. But yeah, let me know, do you want to go plutocracy into enforced trade privileges or the Mandala system into strengthened noble privileges? Because both systems don't have a direct impact on what we do. I can wait a long time with changing these reforms. So probably I'm going to make a few videos waiting for your input. So let's say 3 videos, and then I can see and apply your input. I do really want to make a size 30 city. I do really want that Age of Discovery bonus towards a large city, so that we can, gosh darn, there we go. You did that at the very end, man. We needed that sooner. Bump it up, bump up there, make it a state. There we go. Core it. There you go. Get some money from it. Now you we need to bump up. Because this is never going to be a good trade good. I am going to do this. This is going to... We're going to spend a ton of points here. And 27 as a state. Is that good enough for the Age of Discovery? No, we need 1 more point, they say. I guess I'm gonna do the 1 fish just to not have to wait until the points. Yeah, we don't need to move it. Are we gonna take this just for the fishies? I guess so. And that should trigger our Age of Discovery 30-size city. No, it doesn't take it, despite the fact that it says... So I shouldn't have done the fishies. Well, that's annoying. Hit that, and I'll wait for the military points then. Can we perhaps placate you a little bit? No, we can't. Is there a way that I can see how quickly that can be done again? Because I always forget how that is done. Yeah, we can. 7 years from now. So that's not gonna happen. Mission fulfilled. High income. Construction cost. Construction time. Yeah, don't worry. That's not development cost. This is development what I'm doing here. Not... yeah, this is already higher, so I can't increase it anymore. So we really have to wait on the military. Base tax in Eora. Yes, please. We'll take that. Certainly. I can increase Eora even more. How's our money situation? It's now really good. It's now really good. I think I will wait, not dump any more administrative points into Eora, because now we really should focus on getting the technology. We already have a huge penalty. Man, we even have military tech free still. We are so behind there. But we really need to get our ideas started. Because our ruler is good at it, and she won't live forever. And let's wait with dumping any more administrative points. We'll do that in the next episode. We're gonna get this one. We're gonna get exploration. Dump all our Diplo points into that. Get unlock of at least the people of the desert, and hopefully get to Redream the Same very quickly. That is the idea. We have ourselves, and we'll use the military points to bump this up. But that is all for our next episode. I say thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.